No one should be jealous of these types of people. Because on the surface, that social media influencer, the Instagram model, the perfect life person, looks incredibly confident. They always seem to have more money, more success, more attention. Their voice fills the room, their life looks polished, and everything they share feels bigger and better than everyone else's. Have you ever asked yourself, is that actually confidence or is it just performance? Because sometimes the loudest confidence is the most fragile. And today we're going to talk about what that kind of confidence really is and why it might actually be holding you back. We all know someone like this, and even if you don't, it is entangled into our media, everyday living, celebrities. Maybe you work with someone like this. Maybe you're friends with them. Maybe you're related to them. Their confidence isn't subtle. It's loud, competitive, constant. It's always on display. While most people just live their lives quietly, these people feel like they're always advertising theirs. Every achievement gets posted, every purchase gets shown, every moment has to look impressive. From the outside, it looks perfect, but if you pay attention, it starts to feel less like confidence and more like proving something. And that's the difference. Real confidence doesn't need an audience. Performance does. It's loud, competitive, and always on display. Share a personal win? They either top it or sneak in a backhanded compliment. But that's not confidence, it's broadcasting. It's a highlight reel, carefully edited to make it look like they're always winning. And honestly, that's exhausting. Because when your life is built on comparing yourself to everyone else, you're never at peace. You're always trying to prove something, always trying to show you're enough, usually because deep down, you're afraid you're not. If you know someone like this, hit the like button. Now, the facade usually cracks the moment something doesn't go their way, or when someone else does it better. They notice your accomplishment, but instead of celebrating it, they go quiet. Not because they're being thoughtful, it's because they don't know how to top it. They don't have a bigger story, they don't have a clever critique, and for once, the attention isn't on them. And that silence, it feels awkward, almost tense. Later, it shows up in small comments. Oh, you're just lucky. Be careful, I've seen this before. These things don't last. It sounds like advice, but it isn't. It's dismissal. Instead of building you up, they start poking holes in your success, chipping away at it, trying to make it smaller. That's not strength, it's jealousy. And jealousy is usually just insecurity in disguise. And when someone else's success feels threatened, their defense kicks in, not to grow, but to pull you down. Because tearing you down feels easier than facing their own fear that they're not enough. So what's the psychology behind fake confidence, and why do these people do this? Stick around, you may want to hear and understand this. It's not about building yourself up, it's about tearing others down so you can feel a little bit taller. This kind of behavior is almost always rooted in deep insecurities and a huge fear of not being good enough. Jealousy is just the alarm bell for that insecurity. It's the emotion that screams at you when a resource you value, like attention or praise, feels like it's being taken away. Fake confidence is for an audience. It's a show you put on to get admiration. The problem is, it almost always backfires. Now, studies show that braggers may damage their likability if they are perceived negatively by their audience. Real confidence, on the other hand, is quiet. It's an internal feeling of self-worth that doesn't need to be announced or proven. A truly confident person can celebrate your wins because your success doesn't take anything away from their own. It's about connection, not competition. If any of this is starting to feel a little too familiar, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What does real confidence look like to you? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. So now that you know why people behave this way, let's talk about the path to real self-worth. How do you get from the fragile performance to real authentic self-worth? The answer is not to fake it till you make it. It's to start practicing self-compassion. The journey starts by looking inward. When you feel that spike of jealousy or that urge to one-up someone, don't judge yourself for it. Just notice it. Treat it like a signal or a red flag. Now ask yourself, what insecurity is this feeling trying to protect? Creating that little bit of space between the feeling and your reaction is the first step. Start building your self-esteem from the inside out, so you no longer have to borrow it from other people's approval. This can be as simple as keeping a gratitude journal to focus on what you have and not what you lack. Another option is to start keeping a private list, maybe on your notes section of your phone, about your own strengths and accomplishments, no matter how small, to build a case file for your own value. Finally, actively practice celebrating others. When you give a genuine compliment or feel genuinely happy for someone's success, you are literally rewiring your brain. You're teaching yourself that life isn't a zero-sum game. Someone else's light doesn't dim yours. It's an act of generosity that builds real connection and takes apart the insecurity that fuels fake confidence. Just remember that Silence the Braggart show was an invitation, a chance to finally stop performing and start connecting. Now, the path isn't easy, but it's where real change happens. True confidence isn't the absence of fear or insecurity. It's having the courage to face your flaws and know that your worth isn't up for debate. It's quiet, it's humble, and honestly, it's the most powerful presence you can bring into a room. It doesn't need a spotlight because it's already at home with itself. Now, if you enjoy digging into psychology of a better life and healing, make sure you subscribe. And I would love to hear about your healing journey in the comments below.